Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity. As you may remember on the last video, we actually went and found ourselves a meteorite so that we could try and grab the pattern that we needed to make something in Applied Energistics. And that is still something that I want to work towards today. I'm just going to quickly grab my meteorite compass because that is something that we're going to need. I'm not going to take with me any of the other tools. Now one thing you will notice in here is there's a lot of skystone. What I've actually done between videos is I went back to the original meteorite and I mined out the whole thing, and I did it with the mining laser. Yes, you can do it with this hammer and it will do 9 blocks at a time, but it still takes maybe a good 15-20 seconds to break a block, whereas if you actually do it with the mining laser, you can destroy a block very, very quickly. So, single shot. So that's the way we're going to continue with that. Just checking the water here, because we have another universal fluid cell full of water. So let's just go and keep that topped up, because we are going to need to make ourselves some more overclockers shortly. Got my macerator running away because I found some more yellorium. Not sure what's happening with the bed there. It looks like the texture seems to be floating above the bed for some strange reason. That's very weird. Hadn't noticed that before. So what has happened since the last video? Well, I went back to the meteorite to mine it all out, and I did that. That was fine, and I thought I'll go and look for some more. So I took the jetpack, took the hang glider, and went and flew around, and I actually managed to find the location of 3 more meteorites. Well, I found what chunk they were in because that's all the compass does. The compass points to the chunk. It doesn't actually point to the meteorite itself. And that can be slightly problematic because you never know exactly where the meteorite is going to be. So the first one that we found was just over there, and I've actually removed the waypoint because I've completely removed every single sky block that was there. There's another one over in that direction, over near the village, which is about 860 meters away. There is one in that direction, which is about 600 meters away now, and there was another one. Can't remember what direction that's in. I did fly around and managed to find 3. But what I did do, because I didn't actually manage to find the meteorite itself, is I just went and put waypoints down next to all of them. Now, you will notice I've turned the quarry off for the time being. The main reason for that is the quarry still has quite a way to go, and the chests are absolutely full. And not only are the chests out here full, but the chests inside are full as well. Because while I was trying to find the first meteorite, I actually ended up breaking down into a mine. And I thought, typical. All the time I've been looking for an abandoned mine. Haven't found one. The first time I'm out digging, not recording, and I stumble across a mine. Didn't find a chest in there or anything particularly exciting. I did find a spider spawner, but forgot to mark its location. I know roughly where it is. So we may end up going and coming across that at some point. So what I need to do on this video is go and try and get the rest of those patterns. The what are they called? The presses. The inscriber presses. We've got the inscriber calculation press, but there's 3 other types. Now, we technically don't need those for this part of Applied Energistics because we're kind of skipping a step. What I need to do is get some Fluix crystals, which I am actually working on. We've already got a load of Ceratous Quartz, pure Ceratous Quartz crystals here, which is really, really good. Down in the basement of basements in the water here, we've actually got some nether quartz crystals growing. And then what we need to do is just mix the quartz crystals with the nether quartz crystals and some redstone. We can get some Fluix crystals. We will need to build a charger and a vibration chamber, which is going to be very, very easy to do. But I would like to try and get those meteorites. And having gone round and found 3 of them yesterday, but not actually managed to find the meteorite, made me realise just how lucky I was to find that meteorite on the last video, and just sort of stumbled across it. So we're going to be having to do a few little tricks. Let's just bring up the map. We can see where they all are. So the original one that we found was over here near the mine. Actually, you can see where the skeleton spawner is. So it was literally right above that skeleton spawner. So I found one over here near the horse fields, one over here right on the coast, and I believe I found another one somewhere as well. I did fly out quite a distance. Maybe I forgot to mark its location. It'd be very, very odd if I did. I was almost certain that I found a third one. Oh, Meteorite 3, yeah. I sort of flew over here and then found one over there near the village. So we do have the location for 3 of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to teleport to them because it just makes it easier. I know this is cheating, but, you know, it's just saving time of me flying. I can get there quite easily. You all know I can, so what's the point in wasting time doing it? So, boom, boom. We are teleporting over here. And a lot of horses around. There will be a hole somewhere that I dug, because I did dig down a little bit somewhere. Probably here, actually. You can see there's a hole down. Just going to put the jetpack on. We'll drop down here so you can see what I did find. In fact, there's a lot of junk down here because I just sort of started shooting with the mining laser to try and discover where the meteorite was. This is the area roughly where I stumbled upon the mine, and in fact, not sure exactly where it is. But yeah, the mine is around here somewhere, and there was a skeleton spawner. Didn't find anything interesting. I did find lots of really cool stuff in terms of quartz and gold and iron and stuff like that. So as a result, I actually have tons of materials. It's another reason why I've decided I need to get on with applied energistics, because I really need to be able to empty out the chests. Here we go. It's just, I don't know why I'm picking all this stuff up. It's just going to fill my bags. Here's the mine. So maybe I can actually go and mark that spider spawner now. There's probably going to be quite a few nasty bits and pieces in here. Skeletons and whatnot. Spider spawner was off to the end. There it is. As you can see, I've completely surrounded it, so it shouldn't actually be able to spawn anything. Let's just bookmark spider spawner. So there we go. I now know where this is. Got a load of cobwebs from here as well, and there's gold around and there's all sorts of stuff. So it's really, really good. In fact, there's actually loads of gold there. Looks like we're on some sort of long focus mode, which we don't want to be. I also picked up a lot of track. I thought it was a good idea to pick up rail track, because rail track's actually quite expensive to build in this version of Minecraft. But let's just quickly go back. Let's just teleport back up to the surface, and it's actually nighttime now, which is not ideal. Let's just quickly go back home, just make life a little bit easier. So home. Saw you a second ago. Let me find it before I get creeped. Okay, fine. Let's go and do a couple of things. First of all, let's just get rid of all this junk that I've just picked up. So I've got, again, more gold, more. Turn the jetpack off. Too many buttons. Jetpack off. Okay. So gold, tin, cinnabar. I'm actually having to put overflow stuff into this chest now because it's just full of junk. So as you can see, this is the problem we are having. So we really need to try and get applied energistics working. Yeah, look, the bed's doing a really weird thing. The cover's not actually on the bed. That is... Oh, it's working now. That's weird. Okay, fine. So what we are going to do is we'll teleport back to where that first meteorite was. Not going to go down into the mines now because we don't need to. But the compass only points to the chunk that the meteorite is in. Now, one useful thing that we can do on this version of Feed the Beast is if we hit F9, we can actually see these red lines. These red lines indicate the corners of chunks. If we actually hit F9 again, it actually brings up this little sort of Tron-style grid, so we can see the entire chunk. So we are in a chunk that has a meteorite in it, because the compass is spinning like a nutter. If I were to walk out this wall, it stops spinning. Let me just try and go out the other side. Chunks aren't very big. Well, they are and they aren't. So as you can see here, it's spinning in this chunk, but it's also spinning in this chunk, which means the meteorite is over 2 chunks. Now, this is one of the things that I was trying to work out. What exactly is it that this compass points to? Does it point to the sky chest, which is in the middle of the meteorite, or does it actually point to any sky blocks? So let's go over here and out this side. No, we've got nothing in this chunk. We've got nothing in this chunk. We already know this chunk has meteorite in it. We've also got meteorite in this chunk, but no meteorite in this chunk. But we have meteorite in this chunk, and this chunk, and this chunk. So I'm guessing the meteorite is going to be somewhere around here, around where we're standing. Now, I know some people did comment and say that they'd managed to find meteorites on the surface. I flew around. Like I said, I only found the location of about 3, but I didn't find any on the surface, which was a little bit weird, a little bit annoying. So what I'm actually going to do, I mean, a chunk isn't all that big, really. A chunk, as you can see by this sort of green cage, a chunk is only 16 blocks by 16 blocks. So it's not particularly big. Now, obviously, height-wise, chunks go from ground to the build limit, from bedrock up to 0 to 256. So when you look at the fact that you've got 16 tiles wide by 16 tiles long by 256 tiles high, you've basically got 65,000 tiles. So there's a lot of blocks in a single chunk. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our mining laser. We're going to set it on to long range, I think is what it was already on. I'm going to turn the jetpack on. And we are just basically going to fire directly down at the ground in the hope that we actually manage to find the block. And I think I have, actually. Is that sky block there? Yes, it is. We've found it. So we've actually already managed to find the meteorite, which is fantastic. So it's a really good method of being able to actually find where the meteorite is. Now, I'm not going to mine the whole thing out. There's no need to. All I actually need to do is get to the chest. That's the important thing here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to try and remember how to do this. Was it Control Space M? Yeah, hover mode. I want hover mode on. The reason I want hover mode on is because I want to lower myself down into this hole. I want to make myself somewhere where I can actually stand to get in at this sky stone. So let's just go and do that. Just take out a few blocks, and now we've got some space. So we can just turn the jetpack off completely. There we go. So we have found our way to Skystone. Now, that, as you can see, this is so much quicker than doing it with the diamond pick. The meteorite that I'd found previously, the one in the previous video, was spherical. About as spherical as anything can be in Minecraft. And as you can see, there's the boundary of the chunk. So the meteorite definitely is in more than one chunk here. The previous meteorite was spherical and about 11 blocks in diameter. So if a meteorite just spawned in a single chunk, you would expect to be able to find it if you shot right down in the middle of the chunk. But as obviously it looks like meteorites can spawn in multiple chunks, then it makes it a little bit more difficult. I'm just going to go ahead and put a torch down just to make it a little bit easier for you guys to see here. And I'm just trying to find my way to the middle. There is the middle. I'm not sure if there's going to be more than one sky chest. I had heard rumours that it is possible for there to be more than one chest. Not sure if that is true. We've got the engineering press, so we've actually got the second one. We've got an iron nugget there. Let's just go ahead and take the chest, because why not? We can zap that. Compass is still spinning. So obviously the compass isn't spinning towards the... doesn't spin towards the chest. It must just be spinning towards any sky blocks that are around. Like I said, I don't believe there's a second chest here. I think we are actually in the middle. If we look at the cut of the meteorite here, you can see that we are right in the sort of top half. If we try and shoot down a little bit, yeah. So this is the sort of middle level, which would put that chest in pretty much the exact middle of the meteorite. So I think I'm happy in saying that there's probably no more sky chests here. That's fine. So we're going to go ahead and leave this one. I'll pick up the rest of the sky stone, but I'll leave the waypoint here in case I ever need to come back and grab a little bit more of it. So let's now go and teleport over to our second meteorite. And this one was over here somewhere near the beach. Hearing some funny noises, not too sure what that is. Maybe there's some slime around somewhere. So let's go ahead and check this one out. The compass is indeed spinning in this chunk. If we were to go out into this neighbouring chunk, we are indeed still spinning. This one might be difficult because we might be digging underwater. If we move over this way, we're still spinning actually. So it means the chunk could well be down here somewhere in this direction. Yeah, I think we're going to find our meteorite somewhere around here. Possibly. This seems like as good a point as any. I'm just going to go ahead and turn the... We're still in hover mode, which is fine. So let's just go ahead and... go back into long range. We'll shoot and then immediately jump up just so we don't fall in. Now, there is one potential risk of doing this, and the risk of that is that we actually end up shooting the Skystone. There we go, we found it already. Brilliant. It's very, very dark down here. There we go. We've actually landed right in the middle of the meteor. So there is one potential problem with doing this, and that is that we could accidentally shoot the sky chest. It shouldn't make any difference because shooting the chest should just make the chest break and we should get the contents of the chest. So that's not a worry. However, if we actually shoot the chest and our shot manages to continue heading towards the ground and then ends up falling into lava, we would lose the contents. So yeah, as you can see, again, we've got another meteorite that is over multiple chunks. So just trying to work out what the shape of the meteorite is here. Obviously, we're sort of at an edge here. So I think the middle of the meteorite is going to be kind of down in this direction. Only problem with finding a meteorite like this and kind of burrowing your way in from the top, it can make it a little bit difficult to work out just exactly where the middle is. But we found it anyway. Let's just turn the jetpack off there. So let's go and open this sky chest. And we have another engineering press. That is unfortunate. I was hoping that we'd actually find one of the other bits that we needed. But that's not too much of a problem. Let's go ahead and grab that. So we've got two of the parts. We can get ourselves out of here again. In fact, I'm not even going to bother with that. We're just going to go straight to the third meteorite site. So, meteorite number 3. Let's teleport there. So, these are all ones that I just found yesterday, but I couldn't, because they weren't on the surface, I didn't really go looking for them. So, again, we know that we have a meteorite somewhere in this chunk. If we go in this chunk, we don't have one. If we go in this chunk, we do. We've also got the village just over there. In fact, you can see the village from here. Meteorite here, meteorite here. So it's the meteorite's kind of in the middle of these chunks. So do the usual trick. Put the mining laser onto long range. Make sure we've got the jetpack on. Fire straight down. And I can actually see the sky stone already. We've hit it straight the way. So let's just go down into that. And in fact, we literally have discovered the chest. It's right there and somewhere around. Oh, wonderful. You see, now it's doing stuff like this that I love in Minecraft. Oh, I got it on long range there and I didn't mean to. The good thing is if you do actually hit Skystone, Skystone actually absorbs quite a lot of the impact from the mining laser, so it will actually stop it traveling too far. Let's just get out of here. Let's just quickly get back up to the surface. I am going to very quickly just turn off hover mode there, and let's just hit F9, get rid of that. I think we might actually have all the bits that we need there. So as you can see, even though we've got the chest and the contents of the chest, the compass is still pointing towards it. So obviously the compass points towards any old sky stone that we find, which is okay. We understand that. Here's the village. Not sure if I ever came here with you guys before and showed it to you, but I have been around here before. I think this is the village where all the villagers were getting killed by hobgoblins, which was a little bit weird. Some of these buildings have glitched slightly. I know there's a lot of villagers that sort of, like this guy here, struggling to get in and out of his door because it kind of, these buildings spawn in weird ways. Like this one, it sort of spawned half off the ground. You can't actually get up to it because it's spawned in midair. It's really weird. So what did we get from that? We've got the silicon press, the calculation press, and the engineering press. We're actually still short. So we've got the calculate. Let me just actually have a look because I can't remember what the other one is called. Inscriber. There we go. So there's 4. There's the calculation, which we have. There's the engineering, which we have. The logic press. It's the logic press that we need. So we are still short of one. It does prove, though, that you can get more than one in a single chunk. So let us go back home because it is now night time. So let's just teleport home. And again, I've got a bag full of junk. Let's go ahead and do that. We are going to drop off more of this sky stone. Getting loads of this, you see. This is why I wasn't hanging around getting all of the getting all of the sky stone. There really is no need to. We're going to put the rest of these presses in here, and we need to find the logic one. So we're going to have to go out. We will be taking our hang glider this time. Let's just quickly go ahead and get rid of some more cobblestone. We'll sleep it off again. So it's not been a thoroughly exciting video, I appreciate that, but at least we have managed to find some of the ingredients that we need. So we're going to have to go off in another direction to see what we can find. We might actually head off over the back of the house. I don't really think we've done an awful lot of exploring in that direction, so let's just go ahead and turn the jetpack on. We're going to head out over here. Now, it is a little bit difficult sometimes to actually see where the compass is pointing when you are carrying the compass. And the main reason for that is the compass doesn't actually point north on the hotbar. In fact, if the compass was pointing directly ahead on the hotbar, it would be where the compass is pointing now. And in fact, we've just found it. That was incredibly lucky. Let's just drop down a little bit and we'll hang glide down. Does look like this one could potentially be in the water though, which could be a little bit of a pain. There we go, we're on the ground. So, back to what I was saying about the compass. If you actually look how the compass is pointing, technically dead ahead is there. So, it on the hotbar, it looks like it's kind of pointing to the left. But it looks like it might be down here. Let's just hit F9 twice just to turn on the chunk boundaries. So, we haven't got anything in this chunk. This is where an old... is that a great wood? Yeah, great wood, that's why it's all green. Some Mistcraft stuff going on here. So we've got nothing in this chunk. We've got something in this chunk. We have something in this chunk. Oops. What about these chunks over here? Nothing in this chunk. Nothing in this chunk. So we're over here somewhere between these two chunks. Now I don't really want to drown attempting to do this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use my mining laser because I don't think I've got... let's just turn that off, the jetpack off. Do I have any mats at all? No, I don't. So we'll use the mining laser. Just going to put the... I was already on low focus. Just put it onto low focus. And all I'm going to do is just grab a few dirt blocks. We don't need many. In fact, we need exactly 9, really, to make this work. So, we're making a little bit of a mess of the landscape, but I'm about to dig a big hole, so who cares? Look at that, we found some marble. There we go. So, we have ourselves some dirt blocks. So, what I'm going to do is go out to roughly where we think this thing is going to be. Which is probably somewhere here in the middle of all of this. And all I'm going to do is build myself a sort of a... Let's just get out of the water. This will make this a lot easier. What I'm going to do here is just build myself a sort of a 3x3 platform. Because we're definitely getting the compass spinning here and in this chunk, which means our meteorite is probably somewhere in the middle. So now we've done this, we'll turn on, we can go back to hover mode on the old jetpack. We can go back to our mining laser, put our mining laser on long range and shoot down here now. And because we've made this, it isn't going to fill with water, which makes it incredibly useful for us. It looks like we've hit skystone as well, because I can see the dark colour rock. And indeed we have. So we've done very, very good in finding these. So let's just go ahead and put down a torch. We will turn off the jetpack for now. We'll go back to the mining laser. Make sure that it is on low focus mode now. Now, fortunately, where we've come through here, we really don't have much of a clue at all. In fact, actually, we do. We can see that this... top sky block is there, and then it gets higher, and then it probably gets higher if we go this way. Yeah, so we're definitely working towards the middle of it, and we're quite close to the top or the end. And we've actually found the chest. It's right there. There we go. So, fingers crossed. What have we got here? We have the engineering press and a calculation press. That is so annoying. We've found so many of these now, and they've all been the wrong ones. We'll take the chest. It's not a very useful chest, but a free chest is a free chest. Let's go ahead and get ourselves out of here. Well, now we know the technique, let's continue to look for more. Let us go back and head to the south again. So we'll just go and get rid of that. We'll go back to our usual method. We'll just turn off the chunks for the moment. We'll continue heading south. Now, obviously, we are not going to see where we have a new meteorite until we get far enough away from the one we've just found for the compass to latch onto one that is closer. Still haven't found a single one yet on the surface. So I think those of you that have actually managed to find meteorites on the surface have done incredibly well. And you've been incredibly lucky. But at least this is a really, really good and easy way to find them when they're not on the surface. Looks like we've actually latched on to one that is a little closer. And we are now heading directly towards it. Please tell me it's not that. No, that's the village. Looks like this one's probably going to end up being in the middle of the swamp, which wouldn't surprise me. Seems to be my luck with things at the moment. I'm hoping that I am going to at least find one on the surface, just to prove that A, they exist, and B, just to get one that I can grab really easily. So it looks like we've got one close, because the compass is starting to zero in on something here. Hasn't quite found it yet. Yep, there we go. We are close to something. So let us start to come into land. Hit a tree, always good. What have we got going on here? There's some interesting blocks. And we have landed. So what have we got down here? This is quarried stone. Never seen that naturally appearing in the area before. Okay, so we are going to just turn off the jetpack. We've got our compass. We're going to turn on the chunk boundaries just so we can see where they are. So we have one in this chunk and this chunk, but not in this chunk. Let's try the chunk on the other side. Got one here as well. And not here, which means we're probably somewhere around this corner. So this is where we're going to have a look. So we're going to use our usual trick. Mining laser onto long range. Turn the jetpack on, put it onto hover mode. So glad somebody found out how we were to do that. Let's just shoot down. And we've actually hit water down here. We've actually hit an open sort of cave, really. No sign of the meteorite, though. So that's not bad. That's our first miss, really. That is our first miss. Let's try and have a look somewhere else. Because we're still spinning around here. Let's go and have a look down here, for example. So we have... It looks dark, but that could just be because it's dark. What's that? That's dirt. We've gone pretty much all the way down to bedrock there. So we definitely didn't hit skystone. Is that bedrock or is that gravel? That's gravel. I don't think it's going to be... It is possible that it could be further down. I don't know how deep these things spawn. Obviously, there's a dungeon down here somewhere. We are right down at level 2. So we're not quite at bedrock, but there's not going to be anything else down there. So we'll give that one up. So this is the first one where we haven't actually just come across it straight away, which is a little bit annoying. I know this video is starting to run on quite lengthily. We will be ending it soon, but I did want to just try and find this last one. What about over here? Compass is still spinning. Let's try going down here. So as you can see, if you don't actually hit the sky rock, the mining laser actually goes quite a long way. We've actually found ourselves a nice little cave system down here. So I'm just having a look around just to try and see if we have broken into a... Oh, there's a witch down there. Let's leave you to it to drown. So we're actually making a little bit of Swiss cheese here. Let's just turn the jetpack off very quickly and let's just recalculate where we think this might be. So we know that there is one in this chunk. And there is one in this chunk too. It's going to be in a really strange place, this one. What about this chunk? Yep, still showing in this chunk. So it might actually be in this corner. So let's turn the jetpack back on and shoot down here. Oh, that's a dark tile. What's that? Bit of light down here, so we've broken through into something, but that is skystone. So we have broken down into a chasm, actually. There's a whole chasm down here. Wonder if you've ever seen this from the surface. Not sure if we have or not. Either way, that's not what we're here for. We are here for skystone, so I'm on long range mode still, which I don't want to be. So let's just go ahead and put this back onto low focus. We'll turn the jetpack off. And keep your fingers crossed, everybody, that we actually find the chest and find the pattern that we're looking for this time. Obviously, I'm in no big hurry, because like I said, there is still another stage that we do need to do. Looks like we're working towards the middle. It's going to be sort of in this direction. Not sure if it's left or right. Obviously, we can see the sort of the curve of the sphere. So this is one end of the sphere. So the middle is probably going to be just in here somewhere, depending on the size of it. And in fact, if we take this as the middle, it's probably very close. Not found it yet. This is going to be one of those ones where I have to take out a lot of blocks to find it. Could just put the laser on a sort of more intense mining mode. Don't want to put it onto explosive or anything like that. It could be quite dangerous. But let's just keep going ahead and making some holes. Got to be here somewhere. Is that it? Or no? We found the other side, which means the middle's probably going to be more in this direction then. I wonder if there's a potential possibility of one of these things spawning and not having a chest in it at all. We haven't found it yet, have we? But as you can see, you can mine these things out very, very quickly with a mining laser. Come on, chest, where are you? Let's just go ahead and put another light up. It's very dark in here with this skystone. I understand on YouTube it's really difficult to see things at the best of time. So we've kind of found the corner of the stone here. So let's just keep going in this direction. Still haven't quite worked out where the centre is yet on this one. Well, that's not the centre. We will take the quartz though while we're here, because you know, quartz. Is it further down? Did we destroy it? No, we couldn't have destroyed it because we haven't come into the centre yet. So this is going to be a bottom corner. Maybe it's up here actually. Really confused now by where the chest actually is. It's very well hidden. There it is. I always assume they're always in the centre, but that may not be the case. I wonder if this isn't the exact centre. Maybe there's another one around. Anyway, let's have a look what's in it. Engineering, logic. There we go. We have the logic press. We actually have all that we need, and we're actually now full. We've got our bag full. So let's just go ahead and just drop a few things in the bag, and that will mean that we can go and pick up... Did we just put all this stuff in the skystone chest? That wasn't the plan. The plan was to actually put everything in here. Let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and click on the chest, and we can pick up the chest as well. So now we've got everything that we need. Let's go ahead and turn those things off, and we will teleport back home. There we go. We are back home. It is night time. Let's go ahead and drop off that. So, we don't need our compass anymore. We don't need our hang glider anymore. We're going to put these things in here where they're going to be nice and safe. We'll put in the rest of the skystone as well. As you can see, we have more of this stuff than we are ever probably going to need. And, again, we've got more cobblestone. We've got more dirt. I've got this bag full of junk now. Got some coal. It's good that we've got coal because we will be using that in the vibration chamber to power the charger, which is going to make us some charged fluix crystals. Charged fluix crystals we don't actually... is that spinning because it's in there with the... I think it just spins anyway. Charged fluix crystals are used in the making of some of the applied energistic stuff. So we are definitely going to need them. So as you can see, this is the reason why I'm trying to sort of beeline towards applied energistics now. I've got so much stuff in these chests. I've literally got no room to put extra things in, and I'm dumping stuff in chests that the stuff shouldn't go in, to be honest. Just because I've got nowhere else to put it. So I really, really want to try and avoid doing that. As soon as we've got AE up and running properly, we'll have a relatively decent sorting system. So you're going to have to go in there, unfortunately. So we'll go ahead and sleep things off, and then we'll just charge up, and we'll call that the end of the video. But at least we've now found all 4 patterns. And as you can see, it doesn't take too long. They're nice and easy to find. I know people have suggested a good way of finding them maybe to use the quarry. I agree, that would certainly work, but as we've already discovered, you'd have to mine out the entire chunk to be certain of hitting the meteorite, which isn't too bad because obviously you'd only have to mine out 16 by 16. However, it means that you've got to get power to the quarry. You've also got to keep those chunks loaded. It depends whether you're mining out a single meteorite or you're trying to do several at once. You've also then got to do something with all of the stuff that comes out of the quarry. You need to put it into a chest or get it somewhere. Unfortunately, you can't just leave it, because obviously if things fill up and it starts falling on the floor, what you're going to have happen then is you might the quarry might end up breaking the chest and sucking the stuff up into the quarry, and if you haven't got a chest or anywhere for it to go, it might accidentally get spat out and then despawn. So I think for the hassle it costs to actually set up the quarry and deal with all of the refuse that comes out of it, you may as well just do the method I did. Get the mining laser. I guess you could use something like a mining drill or something like that. Something that basically lets you go straight down. And you can then just shoot your way down. Try and work out what chunk it's in. Remember, if you hit F9, it'll give you... you can't really see it from here because we're indoors. But if you hit F9, it'll put these little red lines on that show you where the corners of the chunks are. If you hit F9 again, it will actually put these green grids on that shows you the walls of the chunks, and then F9 again turns them off. I think that's actually part of... it might be actually NEI, not enough items that does that. Not 100% sure. I'm sure it is part of one of the mods, but that makes a nice, easy way of trying to find the meteorite. So there you go. I'm going to end the video there. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Feed the Beast Infinity, and I'll see you next time. So until then, goodbye for now.